Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive doubleheader coverage of men's and women's basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon on Alumni Day, the College of Staten Island will take on John Jay. First, the women's game to begin in approximately 15 minutes, then to men to follow about a half hour after that. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski along with Nick Durst. And, Nick, you had the pleasure earlier this morning of broadcasting the alumni game of the CSI women's basketball team. How did that go here this morning?
It was a lot of fun, close game. The blue team came away with the victory despite being down 11 at one point. Samantha Flecker, our very own Samantha Flecker here, she had 24 points, a game high, and of course Christina Passatoro, she led the comeback there for the blue team as the blue team ended up with a 5-point victory over the black squad. So it was a lot of fun, and the weather outside's pretty gloomy right now, but the mood in here is pretty upbeat. There's a lot of alumni here in the building looking to cheer on their fellow Dolphins players here.
Yeah, and Nick, Alumni Day, always a great day here at the tank. And, you get to see a lot of the great players of this Dolphins past. And, the women's basketball team, a long history of real high-quality basketball here at the College of Staten Island. And nice to see Christina Passatoro. I know Jamie Piffalo was here, Melanie Johnson from back a few years, and, other plays going back even further than that. And, always nice to see everybody come out and, see the old girls that you haven't really seen in a while. And now we're going to turn our attention and look to what could really be a couple of really good games today. First, the women's team taking on this John Jay Bloodhound team.
Yeah, and then CSI's last victory over Baruch, Megan McEwen continued to lead the way as she's done all season for CSI. She's now averaging a team-high 14.1 points per game, and she's really improved her shooting from the field, up to shooting 37.2%, and she's just shy of 37% from beyond the arc. So definitely look for her in this game to continue her leadership as one of the most senior players on this team and being the floor general as she's been all season.
And, Nick, this women's basketball team really has started to get red hot. They started out the season 0-6, but they've now won 7 out of their last 8 games. And with that win against Baruch here on Wednesday night at Baruch, the Dolphins go up over 500 for the first time here this year.
Absolutely, and Mike, as the calendar has turned to January, we go into February here, it's uncharted territories for the Dolphins because they're playing CUNYAC opponents, but it's obviously non-conference games here. But the Dolphins have been showing their dominance against the CUNY opponents here as of late, and really showing why it is that they were able to make the step up to D2 moving forward here.
And, the Dolphins have really started to get some very good play, Nick, out of their freshman players. Jada Rogers now having her points per game go up over 10 points a game, also averaging 4.5 rebounds. And Deidre Foster, who's really come on and really developed throughout her freshman season, although playing just 17 minutes a game, Nick, averaging 8.6 points and 7.3 rebounds for the Dolphins.
Absolutely, Mike, and it really must be nice to have a freshman in Deirdre Foster coming off the bench for you, 5'10". She's from James Madison High School in Brooklyn, New York, and she's really given the Dolphins a great spark off the bench. You know about the starters. You know the typical names, McEwen, Todaro, Schmitter, Robisky. But Foster and, of course, Rogers, as you mentioned, in their freshman year, have really been tremendous for the Dolphins, and the program's going in the right direction with those two.
Yeah, and, Diana Todaro really turning her season around, now averaging nearly a double-double a game, Nick, for the Dolphins. 10.1 rebounds a game and 9.2 points a game, and including shooting 47% from the field. So she's really doing well for the Dolphins here in 2019.
Yeah, and Mike, I don't think it's any coincidence that early in the season when the Dolphins were having trouble getting in the win column, Todaro was injured. So they definitely have been boosted by her senior leadership, and the rebounding has been great. Her defense has been phenomenal, and she's been a great presence in the post for the Dolphins.
And, Nick, you mentioned it earlier, but all the remaining games for the Dolphins will be against CUNYAC opponents. And, with the Dolphins moving over into Division II, who knows how many times or if we will see these opponents playing against the Dolphins again after all these years of competing against each other in the CUNYAC Conference.
Right, as you mentioned, Dolphins move into the East Coast Conference, so this may be the last time or one of the last times they're facing these opponents who they've been, knowing that they're going to face every year. And, Mike, it really is putting a target on the Dolphins' back in every sport, really, men's and women's, because they have these CUNYAC opponents coming in here, and they want to prove something to not only themselves, their fans, and other schools, but really to the Dolphins that they too can compete against the D2 level. So it really has put a bullseye on the Dolphins' back, but so far for the Dolphins women's basketball team, no issues.
And turning our attention a minute here, Nick, to the John Jay Bloodhound team, a Bloodhound team that's playing pretty well, coming in with an 8-9 record, including 5-2 in the conference, and coming off of a big win against Brooklyn College earlier this week, and also having defeated Hunter College for the first time, I believe, since 2012 on their home court. So, they've really been playing well, and they're looking forward to having a big game here this afternoon.
Bloodhounds have had a tremendous offensive attack this season, and it's not often you could say this, but they actually have 5 players averaging double figures on the season, including Healy, Albright, Howard, Rakizis, and Vigud. Healy leads the way with 18.1 points per game. That's a large number for the CUNYAC conference to see somebody scoring 18 points a game, and she's also averaging a double-double. She has averaging 10.6 rebounds per game as well.
Yeah, shooting 52% from the floor and 74% from the free throw line. She really is a dangerous all-around player, and she's coming in having won the CUNYAC Player of the Week award here in this last week. So she's been playing very well, Nick, and like you mentioned, a very diversified attack for this Bloodhound offense with 5 separate players coming in averaging double figures a game, and the team averaging 74 points a game coming into this afternoon's battle.
Right, and it's really more rare that you have a player averaging 18 points per game, another player averaging 16.6 points per game. Albright has 16.6 points per game, and she's also contributing on the glass with 6.6 rebounds per game. So it's a very large number. So,
the Dolphins getting ready to face the Bloodhounds here this afternoon, and we're about 4.5 minutes or so away from the start of the game. And, Joe, Nick, I'm sorry, you turn around and you take a look at the way the men's team has been playing, and they'll play about a half hour or so after this game. And, coming off of a tough loss against Baruch earlier in the week, a game that they actually went into halftime leading by a point, but a big scoring drought in the second half led to a big Baruch win. So a struggling men's team looking to get back on track against a very good Bloodhounds team. So we should have real good doubleheader basketball here this afternoon.
Absolutely, and CSI men's team coming into this game 6-11, John Jay at 12-5, and I did mention the bullseye on the Dolphins' back. Hasn't affected the women, but for the Dolphins, for the men, it's definitely affected them. They've had a tough go of it as of late in the CUNYAC conference. Of course, the big storylines going into the season were Shamal Martin, he's redshirting, and of course the big loss for the season is Christian Taylor, who by far was the best player in the CUNYAC conference last year. He's out for the year, but Adiola Tunji has done a good job this season, and they're gonna look to his leadership today on the court.
Yeah, and Nick, the Dolphins with a record of 6-11 really need to finish out the season strong. They're in danger of playing below 500 basketball since the first time since the 2009-2010 season when the Dolphins went 12-14. So a big game here coming up for the men here this afternoon, and a big game for the women too, Nick, because like you mentioned, the Dolphins playing very well, having won 7 out of their last 8, and really looking to finish the season strong as they prepare their push to go into the Division II.
Yeah, and the Bloodhounds against the Dolphins, they've actually won 3 of the last 4 meetings. The lone victory for the Dolphins, though, came in the 2019 CUNYAC tournament, their semifinals. So Bloodhounds definitely looking to get back in the win column here against the Dolphins, and especially with the fact that it might be, one of the last times these two teams play each other, especially here in the tank.
Yeah, so the teams warming out up on the floor were just about 2 minutes or so away from the start of this afternoon's game. And, we mentioned, Nick, the Dolphins coming off of that big win earlier in the week against Baruch College. Megan McEwen continuing hot scoring 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting that game. And Jada Rogers, another strong game, as we mentioned, 5 of 8 from the floor, grabbed a couple of rebounds, and another 10 rebounds for Diana Tadero on 7 of 11 shooting. And, that's the kind of performance the Dolphins are looking for here this afternoon, and they're going to need against this very tough Bloodhounds team.
Absolutely, and both teams come into this game shooting around 39% from the field. But the Dolphins do have a slight advantage, about 2 points, especially from downtown. And CSI also has a positive rebounding margin, while the Bloodhounds have been out-rebounded by a narrow margin per game this whole season. And when you look at the Dolphins, certainly looks, from the eyeball test here, they do have the height advantage with Foster and Tadar and Schmitter. So look for rebounds to be a key in this game.
So the Dolphins coming in with a record of 5-3 on their home floor, and we're getting ready for the player introductions and the start of the national anthem. So why don't we step aside, take our first break here of the broadcast, and we'll be back with the starting lineups and get you ready for the start of this afternoon's game between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's game between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds. The Dolphins coming in with a record of 9-8, the Bloodhounds with a record of 8-9. So while the players are being introduced out on the floor, why don't we bring you today's starting lineups? And here to bring you those starting lineups, my broadcast partner, Nicholas Sturst. Nick?
All right, Mike. First for the Bloodhounds, they're led by the senior guard, Nyasha Howard. And then they also have Lily Rakitsis, Albright, Katie Healy, and Jessica Gorman. Now, as you look at the home CSI Dolphins starters, we have Megan McEwen, the junior guard, Jada Rogers, freshman guard, Diana Todaro, the senior forward, Brianna Robisky, the junior forward, and Kayla Schmitter, the sophomore forward.
Yeah, the Dolphins coming in with a record of 9-8, Nick, like we mentioned, having won 4 in a row and 7 out of their last 8. And really that their only loss, Nick, since December 14th, that tough 4-point loss on the road against Hunter College. So the women coming in playing very well and looking to continue that strong play here this afternoon.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned earlier in the pregame show, McEwen going to be the key here, as well as Rogers, who are going to look to continue to light up the scoreboard this season.
And the Dolphins will really have to deal with this diversified Bloodhound offensive attack, 5 plays averaging in double figures. So we're about ready to get underway with the opening tip, and the ball will be controlled by the Bloodhounds as Healy controls, and the Dolphins will be on defense here for the first possession here this afternoon as that's Howard. Working the ball out over to Healy. Healy guarded there by Rogers. The pass goes through the hands of Albright and out of bounds. So the first offensive possession for the Bloodhounds ends in a turnover.
Not the start of a game there that the Bloodhounds want there, especially Linda Day, the 4th season head coach for the Bloodhounds. Not very happy about that.
So that'll be McEwen bringing the ball up the floor now for the Dolphins, working the ball out over to Rogers. Now it's Schmitter out at the top of the key. She looks to feed it inside to Tadero. And she'll get it back to McEwen, who drives down the lane, and a floater in the lane is up and in, and good start for McEwen.
McEwen picking up right where she left off in the last game. Early points right here.
That's Rakitis driving in on the inside. The shot knocked away, and Tadero there to control the ball for the Dolphins, and she'll get the ball out over to McEwen. So first 2 possessions, Nick, Bloodhounds can't get the ball to the rim. McEwen, bounce pass goes inside to Schmitter. She tried to work against a couple of Bloodhound defenders. That shot's no good. Healy there for the rebound. Howard looking to drive her way inside. She's going to kick the ball back out over to Gorman. Now it's Healy. Her first attempt of the game. That's no good. And here come the Dolphins looking to run. Schmitter ahead of the field. And the layup is up and in. Nice recognition that time by Jada Rogers, Nick.
Good job there, Mike, by Rogers to look up and find the open Schmitter cutting to the basket for the easy layup.
So the Dolphins with the first 2 baskets of the game, and they lead by a score of 4-0. Howard with the basketball. Her pass inside is stolen away. Second turnover for the Bloodhounds, and now it's Rogers looking to get ahead of the field, but she's going to lose the ball out of bounds, and the Dolphins will have their first turnover of the afternoon.
Nice job there by Tadaro to come up with the steal, but unfortunately Rogers unable to handle the pass there. That's going to go down to the turnover.
Rakitis bring the ball up the floor. Works the ball up over to Albright. Her pass is going to be thrown away again, and Nick, that's the 3rd Bloodhound turnover already in just 2 minutes play.
3 possessions, 3 turnovers. Definitely not what you're looking for if you're John Jay.
So it'll be Brianna Robitsky to inbound the basketball for the Dolphins. And McEwen will bring the ball up the floor with the Dolphins holding the early 4-0 lead. Schmitter looking to feed it inside to Tadero. And we're going to have a whistle in our first foul of the afternoon, as that looks like it'll be on Jessica Gorman. And the Dolphins will inbound with 20 on the shot clock. So Rogers will inbound on the near side of the floor. And it'll be McEwen for the Dolphins. 15 remaining on the shot clock. McEwen working it over to Tadero. Now Rogers looking to take it inside. Schmitter open for the three-pointer. Off the rim, no good, and the rebound grabbed by Albright, and we're going to have a whistle.
That ball went out of bounds there. Mike Tadaro swatted out of Albright's hands, but possession stays with John Jay.
So the Bloodhounds will bring the ball up the floor, really looking for their first basket. Scoreless through over 2.5 minutes here in this first quarter. As that ball driven inside, the shot's up no good as Vakis able to grab her own rebound, but it'll be Tadaro to take the ball away and throw it down to Rubisky, who drives down the floor. Can't hit the layup, but she will draw the foul.
So our first free throws of the game here as Rubisky goes to the line.
So that foul will be on Howard. That will be her first. Bloodhounds with 2 fouls, and Rubisky will miss the first free throw attempt. Brianna coming in shooting 68% from the line. Her second free throw is up, no good. She misses the pair, but the Dolphins able to grab the offensive rebound.
Big offensive rebound there by the Dolphins. When you get to the free throw line and you can't capitalize on the opportunities, it's good to get the offensive rebound.
Tadaro working through a double team, feeds it out over McEwen. McEwen's pass goes over to Schmitter. Schmitter's runner in the lane is good.
Nice job there by Schmitter to use her height.
Kayla now with 4 of the 6 Dolphin points, and they lead by a score of 6-0. Ball gets fed inside to Albright. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Bloodhound basketball with 12 to shoot.
You get a chance there to see that nice move again by Schmitter on the replay.
Nick, the Dolphins doing a very good job defensively, and the Bloodhounds struggling to get any kind of shot opportunities at all here in the early going. Radikis backs the ball out now. Rogers on her. Works it up over to Gorman. Her three-pointer is up no good, and Rubisky there for the rebound. Now McEwen. Bounce pass inside to Tadaro. She whips it out to an open McEwen. Her three-point attempt is up no good, and Albright there for the rebound, and she'll bring the ball up the far side of the floor. Albright gets called for the travel, so the turnover struggles in this first quarter continue for the Bloodhounds.
I think that's the fifth turnover already for the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of turnovers through the first 4 minutes, and they're looking for their first points of the game, and Dolphins lead by a score of 6-0. Rogers feeding it down low to Schmitter. Schmitter now over to Rubisky. Rogers on the outside, steps inside. Now it's McEwen open from the three-point line again. That shot's up no good. Tadaro trying to keep the ball alive. She does. And Schmitter will have the ball now for the Dolphins. In the corner to Rubisky. Her three-point attempt is up no good. And next time, Albright will be out of bounds, and it will remain Dolphin basketball as Dolphins lead by a score of 6-0, and the Bloodhounds fortunate, Nick, it's not more.
Absolutely. With averaging basically a turnover per minute here, so for the Bloodhounds, they're lucky the Dolphins haven't been able to fully capitalize.
Schmitter with the basketball. Now worked it back up over to McEwen, and we're going to have a violation here on the Dolphins. It looks like a palming call or carry, and it will be Bloodhound basketball. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. 6-0, the Dolphins with the lead. Howard picked up by Rubisky. Her jumper is up no good, and Tadaro there to grab another rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen over to Tadaro. Now it's Rubisky looking to work her way inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. And it will be another foul on the Bloodhounds as they're going to pick up their third team foul. As that foul will be on Lily Radiskis, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. So when we step aside, take a break, 4 minutes, 53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Dolphins 6, Bloodhounds nothing. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our
We're back with 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and we just got the stats here, and the Bloodhounds 0 of 5 from the field, Nick, with 6 turnovers.
And the 6 turnovers, and it's only 6-0 here. Dolphins unable to capitalize, shooting 0 for 4 from three-point range.
Rogers with the basketball now. Now it's McEwen. She tries to drive her way inside, and her layup is up and in. So the Dolphins now lead by a score of 8-0.
Nice move there by McEwen to get inside and lay it in.
Rediscus with the basketball. She'll work it up over to Howard. Bloodhounds over to Rediscus. Her floater in the lane is good, so the Bloodhounds get on the board. Breaking an 8-0 Dolphin run, and it's an 8-2 game. McEwen working it up over to Robisky. Robisky's three-pointer off the rim, no good. Howard there for the rebound.
We'll see if here with the Bloodhounds finally getting the board, if they could continue to get in the point column, but that shot's missed there.
Yeah, Healy with a good opportunity, but she hits the back rim, and now it's Schmitter with the jumper just inside the free throw line, and that's good. 6 early points for Kayla Schmitter. 10-2 now, the Dolphins with the lead. Rediscus with the basketball. A pass goes over to Healy. Healy kicking it in the corner to Gorman. Her three-point attempt is up, no good. Both teams unable to hit from the three-point line. That shot by Albright is way off, and now Rogers looking to run, and she streaks down the lane and lays it up and in. Rogers' first point of the lead, and the Dolphins lead up to 10. Rediscus with a nice move and a runner in the lane, though. That's no good. Tadero grabs the rebound, but a pass just ahead of McEwen, and the Dolphins with the turnover.
Dolphins certainly looking to run here in every possession when they get the rebound. You've seen Rogers cash in twice so far. Rogers comes out of the game here, though, and we have a substitution, first substitution of the game for the Dolphins as Christina Arvelos checks in.
12-2 the score. Dolphins with 3 turnovers now here in this first quarter, as that'll be Howard with the basketball. Howard working it out over to Healy. Healy working it over to Piata, who came into the game. Rediscus driving down the lane. Her shot is off the rim, no good. It'll be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Bloodhounds, so it will be Dolphin basketball as the Bloodhound struggles from the field continue. Diana Tadero will check out now for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Mike, and Bloodhound shooting 9% from the field, so definitely not a way to win the game if you're going to shoot that poorly.
So Deidre Foster checks into the game for the Dolphins here for the first time, as that's Arvello throwing it inside to Foster. Now back out over to McEwen. Schmitter at the three-point line works it back over to McEwen. They feed it inside to Foster, who's able to lay it up and in. And, you know, Nick, watching Deidre and her improvement over her freshman season, she continues to get better and better with every game.
Absolutely, Mike. She's been a force off the bench.
That's Howard at that time able to bank it up and in and draw the foul. A big move that time by Nyasha Howard, the 5'10" senior for the Bloodhounds, able to draw John Jay back to within 10. Just the second basket here in the first quarter, Nick, for the Bloodhounds.
And now making it in the free throw, had a chance to get it to single digits, but the free throw off the mark.
Howard, a 70% free throw shooter, but she misses her free throw opportunity, and now it'll be Arvello with the basketball. Schmitter out over to Rubisky. Inside of 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter is Arvello. No hesitation. Three-pointer is good.
Nice job there by Ravello, having the open look, taking the three, and it pays off as it goes in.
Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game now. It's 13. The Bloodhounds with just 2 baskets here in over 8 minutes and 15 seconds of play in this first quarter. Howard looking to drive inside. Another turnover. Now it's McEwen coming away with the basketball. McEwen looking for an open Dolphin. She's double-teamed. And the Bloodhounds are going to get called for the personal here. I believe it's going to be on Howard, and it is Nick, and that's going to be her second personal. As you see, Arvello buried that three-pointer.
So already, 4 fouls here, a minute and a half left in the quarter for John Jay.
Rogers will inbound the basketball, and now the Dolphins turn it over. Turnover number 4, and it's Healy with the basketball. Healy looking to work her way inside. That shot is up no good, and a nice job by McEwen to muscle away the rebound and bring the ball up the floor. Rogers' jumper from the baseline is up no good. Rebound tipped around, and Radiskus with the rebound for the Bloodhounds. Radiskus looking to drive her way inside, and she's going to be fouled by McEwen, and it looks like the Bloodhounds will go to the free throw line.
So Dolphins' second foul as Rakitsis goes to the line.
She's able to hit the first. Lily coming into the game shooting 80% from the free throw line, really 81%, as she buries both of those free throws and draws the Bloodhounds to within 11. Inside of 1 minute of play here in this first quarter as it's Rogers handing it off to Arvello. Now McEwen, now Forster handing it off to Rogers. She drives down the lane. That shot is knocked away beautifully that time as that was Healy coming over with the block for the Bloodhounds. Rogers to inbound. Now it's McEwen. 13 seconds to shoot. The Bloodhounds trying to double-team the ball as Moylan has it knocked away, and now Arvello able to retrieve for the Dolphins with just 5 on the shot clock. McEwen, as she's able to float it inside, and that shot is going to be up and in, and that was close to a shot clock violation, but the Dolphins get the basket. McEwen has 6, and the Dolphin lead back to 13. Albright, her long jumper is up no good. Howard goes for the rebound, but unable to grab it. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Dolphin basketball with 14.5 seconds remaining.
Look there at McEwen's buzzer beater. Just got it off right off her finger toes before the shot clock expired.
A nice play by McEwen on that possession to run the shot clock down as low as you can and get the shot. And let's see if the Dolphins now can hold for the last shot with a 13-point lead. McEwen working it up over in the corner. Arvello's three-pointer is up no good. Radiskus grabs the rebound. A long three-pointer at the buzzer is no good. And the Dolphins will go into the second quarter with a 13-point lead as they lead by a score of 19-6. So 1 quarter in the books. We'll step aside and take a break. Dolphins with a 13-point lead. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
all the things you've done with your bike, donating.
We're back, one quarter in the books. The Dolphins lead this one by a score of 19-6. And, Nick, it really stemmed from that Dolphin defense in quarter number one.
Certainly, Mike. And if you're able to come into a game where you have 5 starters averaging double digits and hold the team overall to 6 points in the quarter, it's a great defensive effort.
Bloodhounds just 2 of 15 from the field and 7 turnovers, but the Dolphins will start the second quarter with a turnover of their own, turnover number 5, and it will be the Bloodhounds with the basketball. Howard at the three-point line feeds it inside to Albright, kicking it out to Platia. And now the Bloodhounds try to lob it inside, but once again, another turnover for the Bloodhounds as they're really struggling offensively here, Nick, and a lot of that Dolphin defense. This is a Bloodhound team coming in averaging 74 points a game.
8 turnovers, 2 for 15 from the field. It's hard to score points if you don't make the shots.
Arvello with the jumper, and that's good. Christina coming in off the bench and has played well, Nick. 2 of 3 from the field. She has 5. 21-6. The Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game now up to 15, as it'll be Bloodhound basketball as Bloodhound's able to keep the ball in the front court. Albright feeding it back over to Healy. She's been quiet here this afternoon. Platia's jumper is blocked away nicely, but the ball grabbed by Howard. Her shot is up, no good. She grabs a rebound. Can't get the putback, but will draw the foul. So that foul on the Dolphins. It looks like that will be on McEwen. That's going to be McEwen's second personal here in quarter number 2. And we'll see if head coach Nicole Sarcone leaves McEwen in the game with 2 early fouls.
Looks like she's going to stay in for now, and McEwen used to playing basically almost every minute of every game, so we'll keep an eye on that.
So Howard hits the second free throw. It's 21-7, and it'll be Arvello to bring the ball up the floor now for the Dolphins. Rogers out by the three-point line. She gets a little bit of space. She drives down the lane, misses the shot, tries to grab a rebound, but grabbed away nicely that time by Albright. Now Howard looking to push the tempo a little bit, taking it in the lane. She feeds it up over to Healy. Healy had an open look that time. That shot was no good. And McEwen, a nice move between a couple of Bloodhound defenders. Now Arvello. Her open three-pointer is good. Christina continuing her hot shooting since checking into the game. 3 of 4 from the field, including 2 of 2 from the three-point line.
8 points off the bench for Arvello, giving a nice spark to the Dolphins, who have a 24-7 lead now.
Howard, Lidiscus feeds it inside to Healy, who's able to lay it up and in and draw the foul. And that time the Bloodhounds able to get the ball inside to Healy, their leading scorer, as she's able to get her first basket of the afternoon. And she'll go to the free throw line, but first 3 substitutions coming in for the Dolphins.
Healy coming into today, averaging 18.1 points per game, gets her first basket there in the second quarter.
So it'll be Rubisky out on the floor now for the Dolphins, along with Arvello, Rogers, Tadero, and Schmitter. And the Dolphins with a 24-10 lead here in quarter number 2. Schmitter. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Rogers, as Jada's going to pick up her first personal. 3 early team fouls in quarter number 2 for the Dolphins.
Definitely something to keep an eye on here, Mike, as the Bloodhounds have been pretty good from the free throw line, 4 for 6, while struggling from the field.
Howard out by the three-point line. Albright, her jumper from the baseline is good. And the Dolphin lead now down to 24-12. Arvello bringing the ball up the floor, gets it up over to Rogers. She tries to feed it inside to Schmitter. The Bloodhound defense much more aggressive here in quarter number 2, and now it's Radiscus getting up over to Healy. Back to Radiscus, and a floater in the lane is good, and Bloodhounds now chipping into that Dolphin lead, cutting it back down to 10, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. That will turn to a full. So why don't we step aside, take a break. 6 minutes, 51 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. Dolphins 24, Bloodhounds 14. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back with 6 minutes and 51 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. And, you know, Nick, the Bloodhounds started out shooting 2 of 16, but they've now hit 3 out of their last 5 and cut the Dolphin lead down to 10.
And they have the early turnovers as well, but now the turnovers have kind of evened out. CSI still at a +2 advantage. 8 turnovers for John Jay, 6 for the Dolphins.
So the Bloodhounds trailing by 10. Dolphins with the basketball now as it's Robisky. Over to Arvello, handing it off to Tadero. Rogers with the open look. The long 2-pointer is up, no good. And that'll be Albright to grab the rebound now for the Bloodhounds. Howard gets it back to Albright. That open 3-point look is no good, and Robisky there to grab the rebound. Bloodhounds now 0 of 7 from the 3-point line. Arvello with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Radiskus there to guard her. Now it's Schmidt. Schmidt, the 3-pointer, that's up no good. And the rebound grab by the Bloodhounds. Dolphins now 2 of 9 from the 3-point line. Howard, Radiskus feeds it inside to Healy, and that time she was able to get inside it to Tadero, Nick, and lay it up and in.
Nice move there by Healy. Wide open there on the pass and lays it up and in with no issue.
Bloodhounds now on the middle of a 10-3 run of their own to make it an 8-point game, as now the Dolphins turn it over for the 8th time. That time Healy drove down the lane. It's up no good, and she's a little shaken up on the play, and Dolphins turn it over once again, Nick, and Dolphins now with 8 turnovers of their own here this afternoon.
Yes, and that outlet pass came right towards us here at the broadcast table, and the early turnovers for the Bloodhounds have certainly been cleaned up, and the Dolphins here are having some turnover problems of their own.
So Healy a little shaken up on the play, as you can see. Looks like she might have gotten hit in the eye, and it'll be Brianna Platia to check into the game, the 5'2" freshman for the Bloodhounds. So the Bloodhounds to inbound the basketball now with a fresh shot clock. They have the Dolphin lead down to 8 points and the basketball. Gorman at the 3-point line. Gorman takes that 3-pointer. That's up no good. And Arvello comes back to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Now Robisky. Robisky hands off over to Forster. Now Arvello putting up the jumper. That's up no good. Robisky goes up high for the rebound. Tried to keep it in bounds, but could not. And it will be Bloodhound basketball. So Dolphins going cold from the field here, Nick.
And the Bloodhounds have been able to capitalize here, getting back into this game, making their shots as of late.
So it will be Bloodhound basketball as they look to cut into this 8-point Dolphin lead. Radiskus with the basketball now. She works it out over to Albright. Albright looking to work against Schmitter, and now the Bloodhounds will bring the ball out to the 3-point line with 10 seconds to shoot. Howard has the ball knocked away. Robisky gets called for the foul. Boy, not much on that one, Nick.
Almost a phantom call there, phantom swipe, but Nyasha Howard draws the foul nonetheless.
So Howard will pick up the foul. Dolphins with 14 fouls, so they'll be over the limit with the next foul in 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the quarter as Albright puts up that three-pointer. That's no good. Bloodhounds continue to put up the three-pointers. They haven't hit one yet as Rogers able to drive down the lane and lay it up and in. Rogers with 4 for the Dolphins, and now we're going to have a carrying violation on Radiscus. So Dolphins would get their lead back to double digits, Nick, and force a Bloodhound turnover.
Rogers just totally destroying the Bloodhounds in transition today, having a lot of points on the fast break.
Rogers, Schmitter, over to Rubisky. She feeds it inside to Forster. Forster draws 3 Bloodhounds. She gets it back to Schmitter. That shot's up, no good. Howard grabs the rebound, and she's looking to push the tempo once again, looking to take it coast to coast, and she's going to get called for the travel. Good defense that time by the Dolphins.
Good job there by the Dolphins to slow down Howard, who was going down the lane rather quickly, but ends up traveling.
So the Dolphins able to slow down this Bloodhound offense, forcing a couple of turnovers. Let's see if they can take advantage on the offensive end. Arvello with the basketball, lobs it up over to Rubisky. She looks to take it down the baseline and gets it back to Rogers. Rogers trying to drive inside this time. She's going to draw the foul, and if that's on Howard, it could be her third, but it won't be. It'll be on Brianna Platia, as Platia will pick up her first personal.
So Rogers going to head to the free throw line here. Dolphins 0 for 2 today from the free throw line.
Rogers' first free throw is up, no good. Jada came into the game shooting 61% from the free throw line, and she'll have one more opportunity. Rogers' second attempt is up, no good. So Dolphins struggling from the free throw line here this afternoon, Nick.
Need to take advantage of those opportunities anytime you get them.
Dolphins able to grab that offensive rebound now as Arvello looking to drive down the lane with Iskus, knocking the ball away, but it'll be ruled last touch by the Bloodhound, so it'll be Dolphin basketball with 8 seconds to shoot. Good defense that time by the Bloodhounds. So Katie Healy will check back into the game, Nick. Low-scoring game, 26-16, just 3 minutes left in the first half.
And with John Jay averaging in the 70s, this is not what you were expecting from them today.
Arvello putting up the three-pointer with no hesitation, and Christina continues her strong play. She's the first player to double digits with 11.
Arvello came into today averaging just about 8 points per game. Already at 11 points here with 2:50 left in the first half.
Nick, Radiscus with the basketball, gets it out over to Howard. Howard putting up that three-pointer. That's up, no good. And Radiscus able to grab the rebound, feed it up over to Healy, and her short jumper in the lane is good. And she's starting to heat up, Nick, for the Bloodhounds. She now has 7.
Healy started off slow, but she is the team's leading scorer, and she's heating up here.
Rubisky, wide open Foster, who lays it up and in. Nice offensive play that time to break through the pressure Bloodhound defense and make it a 13-point lead. Howard comes right back. She misses the shot, and now Rogers looking to work one-on-one against Radiscus, who just fell to the floor. She wasn't even touched that time. But the Dolphins able to lay it up and in, and they're able to match their biggest lead of the game as they have it back up to 15, 33-18 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the first half, and it'll be a 30-second timeout. So let's keep it right here, Nick. Bloodhounds able to draw back into the game, get the Dolphin lead, get back up down to double digits. But good Dolphin defense leading the strong offense, the lead back to 15.
Absolutely, Mike, and led by Arvello here on the offensive end off the bench here today, especially in the second quarter here. She already has 11 points, first person to get the double digits, 4 for 6 from the field, and more importantly, 3 for 4 from three-point land. So she has all 3 of the Dolphins made three-pointers today. Dolphins shooting 30%, 3 for 10 from the field at three-point attempts. So definitely making those opportunities count when she has them, and 3 three-pointers already here today.
Yeah, and, just looking at some of the numbers here early in the game, Nick, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. Dolphin bench outscoring the Bloodhounds 15-0, and the Dolphins with a 15-point lead. Albright with the basketball now. Howard looking to work against Rubisky. Hands it off to Radiskis with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now Albright, she puts up the three-pointer, and that's good. And I think that's the first three-pointer of the game for the Bloodhounds, Nick.
Bloodhounds now 1 for 11 from three-point range after that three-pointer there by Albright.
33-21. Dolphin lead down to 12, 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. Schmidt feeding the ball inside, and Foster able to lay it up and in, and she continues her strong play for the Dolphins. 6 points now for Foster. Howard with the basketball. Now Albright. Albright and Howard collide that time, and it's going to be Howard drawing the offensive foul, and that's a huge foul, Nick, because for Yaisha, that's going to be her third personal in the first half.
And Howard, 3 points here and 3 fouls. We'll see if she heads to the bench, and she is.
She absolutely will, with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the first half, and the Dolphins with a 14-point lead. Foster, Rubisky, wide open from the three-point line, and she buries it. And just like that, Nick, the Dolphins open the lead back to 17, their biggest lead of the game.
Dolphins really making those three-pointers count now as Rubisky hits the three.
Another good defensive play by the Dolphins, and here comes Arvello looking to run. Rubisky feeding the ball inside to Tadero. Back to Rubisky. She puts up that three-pointer. It's up no good. It'll be out of bounds, and it'll be Bloodhound basketball with 31.7 seconds remaining. Nick, the Bloodhounds drew to within 24-16, but since then it's been the Dolphins on a 14-5 run.
Yeah, Mike, and it's really been led by the Dolphins' really strong defensive effort. They've been able to limit the Bloodhounds' attack. As you mentioned in the pregame, Bloodhounds came in with all their stars averaging double digits, and we just haven't seen the offense to get going for them here today.
So Radiskis will bring the ball up the floor now for the Bloodhounds. About a second differential on the shot clock and the game clock here in the first half as Platia gets it over to Albright. Now Radiskis. Rogers thought about going for the steal. That shot taken that time by Gorman as she goes crashing to the ground. It'll go out of bounds. It'll remain Bloodhound basketball with 8 seconds to shoot.
And the Dolphins in this quarter have done a good job of staying out of the penalty. They had those 4 early fouls, but have not been able to. The Bloodhounds have not been able to capitalize because the Dolphins have not fouled since.
So the Dolphins outscoring the Bloodhounds so far in the second quarter, 19-15. And they have a 17-point lead with 9 seconds remaining in the half. It's Healy able to spot up an open jumper. That's up no good. Tadero grabs the rebound, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul. And with the Bloodhounds just picking up their third team foul, it'll just be the Dolphins to inbound, Nick, with 4.3 seconds remaining.
Dolphins here, 4.3 seconds left on the clock. They'll set up for the last shot of the half.
Platia will take the ball. Or take the foul, I should say. That's her second. And now it's going to be Arvello putting up that long three-pointer. That's no good. And that's going to do it. 1 half in the books. And the Dolphins find themselves with a 38-21 lead. That matching their biggest lead of the game as we get ready to go into the first half. So, Nick, a very good first half here for the Dolphins, holding the Bloodhounds to just 21 points and going into halftime with a big 17-point lead.
All-around great defensive effort for the Dolphins. 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 11 forced turnovers has really been the key here in order to keep the typically high-scoring John Jay Bloodhounds low on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and the Dolphins shooting 50% in that first half, shooting 15 of 30, including 3 of 10 from the three-point line, and they've been able to use that to go into halftime with a 17-point lead, as it looks like head women's basketball coach Nicole Salcone, nice enough to come out here and join us at halftime as the Dolphins leading by 17. And, Coach, the ladies playing very well, especially defensively, holding this Bloodhound team to just 21 points in the first half.
Yeah, you know, when we play John Jay, one of our main focuses is knowing their personnel because they do have a lot of weapons. And I think last game and again in this first half, we did a good job. The girls did a good job knowing their personnel and making them uncomfortable.
And freshman Christina Arvello, a very strong offensive first half, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from the line, finishing with 11. She played really well, Coach.
She did. She has the ability to put the ball in the basket and handle the ball, so she's always a threat. And then when she comes out hot shooting, it's a good night.
And Coach, another freshman who has been great off the bench so far today, Foster, 3 for 3, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block.
You know, Deirdre's really been stepping up as the season goes on. She's getting better and better. She asks a lot of the right questions, and she works hard in practice, and she's a force when she's out there, so we're happy to have her on our side.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's women's head basketball coach Nicole Salcone, nice enough to come over here and join us at halftime, Nick, where the Dolphins lead by 17. And, you know, like you said, Forster playing well, Arvello playing well, and Dolphins playing really strong in this first half.
Freshman leading the way offensively, and overall just a very strong team defensive effort here for the Dolphins.
So we're at halftime. The Dolphins lead by a score of 38-21. We'll step aside. We'll take a break for a few minutes, and we'll be back to bring you halftime stats and get you ready for the start of the second half as you're watching women's doubleheader basketball coverage exclusively on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island leads the John Jay Bloodhounds by a score of 38-21. The Dolphins coming into this game having won 7 of 8 and really using strong shooting performances from their freshman players, Nick, as Bello, Foster, and Jada Rogers combining for 10 of 17 shooting in that first half as you get a look at the halftime statistics.
Yeah, Mike, the youth leading the way there as the Dolphins have 38 points, shooting a really good 50% from the field, 17 of 34, 30.8%, 4 of 13 from the three-point range, 23 rebounds, 8 turnovers. So in all categories across the board, they're leading the way. John Jay struggling right now, only 21 points. They're shooting only 24.2 for the field, only 1 of 11 on three-point percent, 9.1%. 19 rebounds and 11 turnovers. So if the Bloodhounds want to get back in this game, they really need to start making their shots when they have open looks.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Nick, 8 of 33 shooting from the floor and just 6 points in that first quarter, just 15 points in quarter number 2. So Dolphins doing a very good job, Nick, and they really came out strong defensively right from the opening tip.
Certainly, Mike, and led as always defensively by Todaro and Robisky, and of course, Foster's doing great off the bench defensively, and Rogers just all around a really great effort here. Todaro with 2 steals, McEwen has a steal, Rogers has a block, Foster has a block, and overall just a strong defensive effort in the first half.
Dolphins with 12 assists on their 17 baskets. 3 players with 3 assists for the Dolphins, Rogers, McEwen, and Todaro. Dolphins turning the ball over 8 times. The Bloodhounds with 11 turnovers, Nick, including the last 3 turnovers in that second half. And let's also remember Nyasha Howard picking up her 3rd personal with just a minute remaining in quarter number 2.
Howard, of course, coming into the game, as all the starters for the Bloodhounds are, in double digits, and they were able to keep her quiet, only 1 for 5 from the field, and of course the 3 fouls. And we're about to get started here in the second half, and we'll see if the Dolphins can get it going from the free throw line. It's really the only thing they haven't been able to do well so far today is they're 0 for 4 from the free throw line.
And it will be Howard to inbound the basketball from right in front of us as we get ready to begin quarter number 3. And Radiscus with the basketball for the Bloodhounds as they will have the first possession here in this third quarter. Howard with the basketball, now over to Albright. Albright trying to work her way inside and able to take it to the basket and lay it up and in a good start to the second half for the Bloodhounds.
Certainly, Mike, the start the Bloodhounds looking for here. They started the first half with 3 straight turnovers. Nice move there by Albright to get into the basket.
Yeah, so Healy trying to go for the turnover, knocks it out of bounds, so it will be Rogers to inbound the basketball here as the Dolphins have their first possession here in the second half. McEwen with the basketball. The Dolphins coming out with the same starting five as began the game. McEwen along with Schmitter, Rogers, Rubisky, and Tadero. As Rubisky has that baseline jumper, it's up no good, but Schmitter able to get inside, grab the rebound, and draw the foul.
So Schmitter heads to the free throw line here. Right now, Dolphins currently 0 for 4 from the free throw line.
So Radiskus will draw the foul for Lily. That will be her second. Schmitter from the free throw line, and she hits the first.
Schmitter now at 7 points today.
She came into the game shooting 82% from the free throw line, and she hits them both. And the Dolphins get their first points of the second half. And they've opened their lead back to 17 as Radiskus brings the ball up the floor for the Bloodhounds. She hands off to Healy, gets the ball back. She tries to drive inside. The shot possibly deflected, and now Rogers feeding it ahead of the field to Rubisky, who lays it up and in, and the Dolphins have their biggest lead of the afternoon.
Dolphins have done a great job in transition today. Lots of easy buckets off of rebounds.
42-23. Albright with the basketball. She drives down the lane. This time she misses the shot, and now it's Rogers looking to run. Rogers looking to drive it inside on Healy. She draws the contact and the foul, gets the basket, and will go to the free throw line as the Dolphin lead now up over 20.
There it is again, Mike. Transition offense there. Rogers looking up for Rubisky. Once again, Rubisky got a little tripped up, so Rogers takes it herself up and in, and a chance for an extra point here from the free throw line.
Dolphins on a 6-2 run here in this third quarter. And Rogers makes it 7-2. And the Dolphins continue to open up their lead. It's now their biggest of the game, 45-23. Howard. Healy with the basketball. She started slowly, but now she's in double digits as she picks up her 10th point of the afternoon. I think the scoreboard's wrong, Nick. I believe it's 45-25 is the correct score, as that is going to be knocked out of bounds. It will remain Dolphin basketball.
Yeah, 45-25 right now.
Schmitter, and she's going to get pushed from behind, and let's see who that foul is on. It looks like it's going to be on Healy. It will be on Katie. For her, that will be foul number 2. 3 very quick team fouls for the Bloodhounds here in the third quarter. McEwen stops and pops from the three-point line. That's no good, but Rogers there to grab the offensive rebound.
And our scoreboard has been corrected here, so you are seeing the right score, 45-25. Dolphins up by 20.
Rubisky inside to Tadero, and Diana gets her first basket of the afternoon, and the Dolphins now lead 47-25.
Good job there by Tadero, muscling up, showing her strength, and laying it up and in.
Radiskus with the basketball now. Rogers waiting for her at the three-point line. 15 to shoot. That ball goes up over to Platia. Her shot is way off, but Tadero's pass a little ahead to Rogers. She drives inside. A beautiful block that time by Radiskus, and here come the Bloodhounds. Healy stopping and popping. That's no good. And there's Tadero for the rebound. 3-on-2 Dolphin break. Tadero stopping from the free throw line and buries it. Nick, it took her some time. She scored the last 4 for the Dolphins.
Tadaro didn't even take a shot in the first half, but now she's got the last 4 points and already 9 rebounds on the game.
49-25, the Dolphins with their biggest lead of the afternoon. Radiskus driving inside. Her layup is up no good, but she'll draw the foul.
Is going to head to the free throw line here, 2 for 2 so far from there today.
So that foul will be on Rogers. That will be her second foul. Team's first of the third quarter, and Radiskus misses the first, and she'll have one more. She hits the second, and it'll be the Dolphins with the basketball as Rogers brings the ball up across the midcourt line. Rubisky Out over to Schmitter. Schmitter looking to feed it inside to Tadero. She works it back up over to McEwen. McEwen driving away inside and able to bank it up and in as McEwen gets her first points in the second half, and the Dolphins lead 51-26. Howard shot up, no good, and Rubisky there for the rebound. Now Rogers. Rogers lobbing it back up over to Rubisky. Now Tadero. Dolphins looking to move the ball around quickly as they feed it inside to Schmitter. Schmitter working against Healy and able to lay it up and in. Nice post move that time by Kayla Schmitter.
Mike, right now, John Jay cannot stop the Dolphins in the paint.
53-26. Dolphins on a 13-5 run, make it 13-7 as the Bloodhounds cut the Dolphin lead down to 53-28. McEwen with the basketball. Now Rubisky by the three-point line, and we're going to have a whistle. It looks like we're going to have a foul away from the ball and a substitution as Alana DeMontro will check into the game for the first time here this afternoon, and she'll replace Jada Rogers.
Rogers heads to the bench with 9 points this afternoon.
5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Bloodhounds find themselves down in this game, and Dolphins have really led from the opening tip. They scored the first 8 points of the afternoon, and so far haven't looked back. Howard putting up that three-pointer, and that's good, and Bloodhounds are going to need more of that, Nick, if they're going to get back into the game.
Bloodhounds only second made three-pointer of the afternoon here today. It's 2 for 13 now. Their three-point percentage is 15.4.
DeMontro with her first touch. Now Rubisky. She feeds it inside to a wide-open Tadero. She can't hit the shot, but she grabs the rebound. Now Rubisky's three-pointer is up no good. Tadero, 2 offensive rebounds on this sequence, and that third attempt is no good, and this time it's Howard with the rebound. Ahead of the field to Healy, who lays it up and in, and a fast break bucket, that time for the Bloodhounds, and they've cut the Dolphin lead back down to 20. Healy now with 14 points. She started slow, not scoring until the second quarter, and now it's going to be McEwen with the offensive foul and the turnover, and now all of a sudden Megan has 3 personal fouls for the Dolphins, and let's see if she's going to stay into the game. So Bloodhounds trying to get some of this momentum back here, Nick, in quarter number 3.
And Bloodhounds doing a good job here on the last possession, taking it coast to coast on the open layup and then drawing the offensive foul.
So now it'll be the Dolphins to take a timeout. 4 minutes, 37 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Dolphins lead by 20. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
Your car is damaged. Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447.
We're back here with 4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And Nick, Dolphins were just up by 27, but a 7-0 run for the Bloodhounds, and they're working their way back into the game, 53-33.
Certainly, Mike, and they're led in the last few minutes here by their starters, who seem to be waking up a little bit after a slow start. But as you mentioned earlier on, all starters for the Bloodhounds came into today averaging double digits.
So it'll be Bloodhound basketball off of the McEwen offensive foul. Megan picks up her third foul, and she'll remain on the floor, Nick, with those 3 personals.
Well, I guess at this point, Mike, up by 20, I don't know if CSI is too concerned if she ends up fouling out of the game.
Healy with the basketball. Forster comes out and guards her. They feed it inside to Albright. She tried to get it back to Healy, and the Dolphins come away with the turnover. And now Tadero will get called for the travel, so the teams will exchange turnovers, and it will be Bloodhound basketball. It's now Megan McEwen. Nick will check out with those 3 personals.
So McEwen heads to the bench now for the first time this game, and John Jay with 12 turnovers and Dolphins with 10.
Inside it goes to Healy. A nice pass that time over to Radiskus. She can't hit the shot, but she will draw the foul. As that foul will be on Diana Tadero. That will be her first. Radiskus goes to the free throw line. She misses the first. She'll have one more upcoming, and Bloodhounds need those 3 points, Nick, as she hits 1 of 2.
Kitts is able to capitalize there, only halfway there. Definitely need to take advantage if you're the Bloodhounds when you get to the free throw line.
Bloodhounds in the middle of an 8-0 run. Let's see what the Dolphins could do to answer as Arvello's shot is up, no good, and the Bloodhounds come away with the rebound. John Jay trying to cut into that Dolphin lead. It's been as many as 27 as Howard's three-pointer goes in and out.
Wow, that one was about halfway down there, Mike. Surprised that it didn't fall through.
Good break for the Dolphins. Let's see if they can take advantage on this possession. Arvello with the basketball, working against Platina. She gets it over to DeMoncho. DeMoncho, bounce pass goes inside to Foster, and the Dolphins turn it over. And Tadero picks up the foul, so Diana with her second foul here in the last minute or so. Dolphins now with 4 team fouls, so they'll be in the penalty on the next free throw. 3 substitutions coming in for the Dolphins. So out on the floor for CSI, it will be Schmitter along with McEwen, Arvello, Rogers, and Tadero with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And the Bloodhounds on an 8-0 run. Howard gets the ball out over to Albright. Bounce pass in the corner to Howard. Her jumper goes up, no good. And Tadero with another rebound, and she's been a rebounding machine here this afternoon.
Yeah, Mike, 13 rebounds. Anytime the ball's off the board, she's picking them up.
But another turnover by the Dolphins as Radiskus drives it down the lane, loses possession. So it will be Dolphin basketball as Dolphins have been stuck on 53 here, Nick, for a while.
We'll see if they could break that drought here.
McEwen with the basketball gets it up over to Arvello. She nearly loses possession, but able to get it to Schmitter. Arvello. Her pass is knocked away nicely that time by Albright. She won't be able to keep it in bounds, so it'll be Dolphin basketball with 12 seconds to shoot. And, Nick, the Dolphins have been a little stymied here. John Jay doing a nice job picking up the defensive intensity.
Certainly, Mike, and Dolphins aren't even really getting too many clean shots off here. Lots of defensive pressure from the Bloodhounds as of late.
So 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. McEwen gets it out over to Rogers. Rogers kicking it back into an open Arvello, and her three-pointer is good. So there's Christina's first points of the second half. A big three-point shot.
14 points now for Arvello.
56-34. That breaks an 8-0 run. And now an air ball by the Bloodhounds. And here comes the Dolphins. Arvello, McEwen, her open three-pointer is off, but Tadero there for her 14th rebound. Rogers. Now Arvello. Arvello stopping and popping. That's up off the back rim. No good. And Tadero with another offensive rebound. McEwen running inside. That shot's no good. Healy there for the rebound. And here come the Bloodhounds. Healy stopping and her jumper off the back rim. No good. Arvello there for the rebound. McEwen down low to Tadero. Tadero stopping, and a baseline jumper is good. 6 points now for Tadero, all 6 in this third quarter.
You're going to leave her that open. She's going to take the shot, and she's going to make you pay for it.
Dolphins open their lead back up to 24 before a nice offensive move that time by Howard. She now has 8. Arvello, McEwen from the top of the key. That's halfway down, no good. And Healy there for the rebound. 1 minute left in quarter number 3. Howard driving down the lane. That shot's up, no good. but she'll draw the foul.
So she head to the line here, and Mike, the story here in the last minute or two has really just been the rebounding by the Dolphins, especially Diana Todaro, who has just been dominating the last 16 rebounds already here at 56 and a half left in the third quarter.
That's the 15th foul on the Dolphins, so that should lead to free throws here. Coming up for Howard as she gets off the floor a little gingerly. She went to the floor pretty hard, and now she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 as Jessica Gorman will come back into the game for the Bloodhounds, and she'll replace Katie Healy. Healy with 14 points. She was kept off the scoreboard for quite a while by the Dolphins, and she's really bounced back nicely as Howard hits the first. And she'll have one more opportunity here and a chance to cut the Dolphin lead back down to 20. That free throw is up, no good, and Rogers there to grab the rebound, and now it's Arvello. Arvello bounce pass over to Todaro, who lays it up and in, and she's come alive here in this third quarter, Nick.
Todaro now 2 points away from an impressive double-double.
60-37. Howard at the three-point line. She has room to take that three-pointer, but that'll be way off, and it will be Dolphin basketball with 32.6 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Arvello looking to work against Howard. Howard playing this whole third quarter with 3 personal fouls. Now Schmitter back up to McEwen. McEwen with the open three-pointer, and that's good. She missed a couple earlier, Nick, but you knew she had the ability to hit it, and the Dolphins lead now back up to 26. Albright with that three-point attempt. That's no good, and that's going to do it. 3 quarters in the books. The Bloodhounds able to cut the Dolphin lead down to under 20 points, but the Dolphins able to close out the third quarter strong, and they lead by a score of 63-37 as we head into quarter number 4. So let's step aside and take a break. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may.
We're back getting ready to start the fourth quarter. The Dolphins outscoring the Bloodhounds 25-16 in that third quarter, Nick, including out-rebounding them 19-5 as Diana Todaro really going crazy on the boards, Nick. 16 rebounds.
Great job in that quarter by Todaro. Also 8 points, so she's totally dominated that quarter.
Dolphins now out-rebounding the Bloodhounds 42-24. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. And that will be an offensive foul called on Arvello. So off the turnover, it will be Bloodhound basketball. And, Nick, they find themselves down by 26 heading into this fourth quarter.
Going to be tough here. Need to make virtually every basket they take in this quarter.
Howard with the basketball, handing it off to Albright, guarded there by Moylan, who checked into the game for the Dolphins. Radiskus taking it down the lane and laying it up and in. Nice move that time, taking it strong to the basket.
Good job there by Rack. Good job there to take it to the basket and lay it up and in.
Radiskus now in double digits with 10. McEwen inside to Tadero. Back out over to Arvello. She lobs it into Tadero now. At the baseline to McEwen. Moylan looking to feed it inside. That goes off of Howard and out of bounds. So it will remain Dolphin basketball with 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Howard a little shaken up there as she took that ball right off her face and it went out of bounds, and she's gonna sit down.
Yeah, she just took that hard foul driving to the basket at the end of the third quarter, and then took the ball right to the head, and she'll check out, and the Dolphins will inbound with 9 on the shot clock. McEwen's floater in the lane is good, so Megan's starting to heat up offensively. She has 13.
McEwen doing what she usually does and heats up at the end of the game.
65-39, a 26-point Dolphin lead. As that's Healy, Radiskus, Albright. Albright looking to work against Moylan. She gets inside and able to take it to the basket and lay it up and in. 2 layups here for the Bloodhounds in quarter number 4 as McEwen goes coast to coast and lays it up and in.
Teams are trading layups here, Mike.
So McEwen really starting to heat up here in the second half as the Bloodhounds trying to up the tempo a little bit. They've been able to get some baskets as Moylan will be fouled from behind. And it will be the Bloodhounds' first foul here in this fourth quarter.
Rubisky, you got to check back into the game, and Arvello will head to the bench. Arvello done a nice job this afternoon with 14 points off the bench.
So it will be the Dolphins to inbound now as they're able to get it up over to Rubisky. Rubisky feeds it inside to McEwen. She lays it up, no good, but she will draw the foul. And it will be a 2-shot foul as Megan McEwen with 15 points, 9 here in this second half. And she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins. Her first free throw is up and in. She came into today's game shooting 83% from the free throw line, the best free throw shooter percentage-wise for the Dolphins here in 2019-2020 as she hits the pair, and the Dolphins now lead 69-43. Radiskus with the basketball. Gets the ball out over to Platina. Back up over to Radiskus. As that jumper is short, and it's McEwen with the rebound. She feeds it ahead of the field to Rubisky, who lays it up and in. And, Nick, the Dolphins have done a nice job of running the basketball here tonight against the Bloodhounds.
Lots of fast break points here this afternoon. Dolphins capitalize on all those opportunities with the open looks off the great passes and transition.
Dolphins with a 28-point lead. I believe that's their biggest lead of the night. As another turnover for the Bloodhounds is Tadero able to work the ball inside. Another fast break bucket for the Dolphins. And they now have their lead up to 30 with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Tadero with the well-deserved double-double, 10 points, 16 rebounds here today.
As we're going to have a whistle on the play. And that will be an offensive foul called on the Bloodhounds. As they're putting that foul up against the Dolphins, but see what the official says. As Moylan given the foul on the scoreboard, but I believe that's incorrect, and it is. It will be an offensive foul. Asha Howard will check back into the game for the Bloodhounds, but it will be Dolphin basketball as they played a very strong second half here and up to 73 points with the basketball and just over 7 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. Tadero over to DeMoncho. Now McEwen. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Megan putting up the three-pointer. That's off the back rim. No good. Gorman there for the rebound for the Bloodhounds. Howard looking to work against Rubisky. Her pass is knocked away and stolen. Another turnover here for the Bloodhounds as McEwen slowing the ball down. Dolphins with the big lead. DeMoncho to Darrow. She gets it over to DeMoncho. She gets it to Moylan. It'll be off our hands, but so the Dolphins will turn it over. And with this big lead, Nick, the Dolphins in control of this one with just over 6 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
Dolphins with their 14th turnover. John Jay is 15, and you have to wonder, Mike, if we'll soon see some reserves check in.
Howard with the basketball as she brings the ball up across the midcourt line with Iskis. Gorman back up over now to Howard out by the three-point line. She tries to use the Healy screen. Dolphins playing well defensively. Now inside to Albright. Her shot is up, no good. And another rebound for Tadero. Deidre Foster getting ready to check into the game for the Dolphins as it's Rubisky. Tadero stopping and popping and hitting. Diana now with 12 points, all in the second half. Howard looking to take it coast to coast. It's up no good. Fight for the rebound, and the Dolphins come away with the basketball once again. And here in the second half, Nick, it's been all Dolphins on the glass. DeMoncho baseline jumper, that's good. Her first points of the game, and Dolphins blowing this one open.
Sparked in the second half by Tadaro's offensive outburst, 12 points, and Tadaro leading the way on the boards with 17 rebounds. Just total domination in the paint.
Dolphins outscoring the Bloodhounds here in the second half, 39-23, and with 5 minutes remaining in the game, it's 5 minutes of scrimmage time for the Dolphins. Moylan's jumper, that's no good. Gorman has that taken away beautifully by Rubisky, and then Gordon is going to get called for the foul. And Dolphins really starting to take it to John Jay, and it's been their ability to rebound the basketball that's really broken this game open here in the second half. And it's going to have a timeout on the floor, and it'll be a full timeout. So let's step aside, take a break. 4 minutes, 52 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dolphins 77, Bloodhounds 43. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back with 4 minutes and 52 seconds remaining here in the second half. And, you know, Nick, for the Dolphins, they jumped out to an 8-0 lead, and they've really controlled this game throughout.
Absolutely, Mike. And Dolphins have not trailed at all in this game. They've led from the tip, and they're going to probably lead all the way till the end here.
So it will be Moylan looking to inbound the basketball, able to get it over to DeMoncho. Back in the corner to Moylan. Her jumper is up no good, but she's able to grab her own rebound, feed it inside to Foster. Her putback is no good. She grabs the rebound, but her pass is going to be stolen away by Healy, who drives down the lane, lays it up and in, and draws the foul. So it looked like Foster had the ball inside and she was going to be able to lay it up and in. Instead, she couldn't convert. Healy able to drive it down the lane, lay it up and in, draw the foul. The foul on Rubisky. as Brianna picks up her third personal. Healy goes to the free throw line and is able to hit the free throw and complete the three-point play. Healy leading all Bloodhound scorers with 17.
Dolphins with a commanding 31-point lead here with 4.5 minutes left to go.
Arvello. DeMoncho with the open three-pointer. That's off the back rim. No good. And Howard there to grab the rebound for John Jay. Bloodhounds came into this game with a record of 8-9, and sure they expected Nick to put up a closer effort than they were able to do here this afternoon against the Dolphins. Howard feeding it inside to Healy. Healy trying to work her way inside. She has the ball knocked away, but able to feed it back to Gorman. Gorman's open three-point look is up, no good. She's scoreless so far tonight for John Jay. Howard feeding the ball inside to Healy, and she missed the open layup, and you could see the frustration on her face off of that miss. Arvello over to DeMoncho, using the Forster screen, feeds it over to Moylan. Now Forster just run into on the play, no call, and Gorman comes away with the basketball for the Bloodhounds. Radiscus. Healy out at the three-point line. Now Radiscus over to Howard. Howard stopping from the three-point line and burying that one. Three-pointer that time by Howard. And it's a 77-49 Dolphin lead with 3 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. Arvello over to Forster, and Healy's going to get called for the foul, and a little frustrated on the play. She felt she might have gotten there in time. Official disagreed, thought she got a little bit of the body. And with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the game, Forster will check out, and it'll be Lola Plamenko to come into the game here, get her first action, Nick, for the Dolphins. Plamenko inside to Moylan. Moylan's floater in the lane is up, no good. Radiscus there to grab the rebound for the Bloodhounds. Howard at the three-point line, working against DeMoncho, feeds it up over to Gorman, and Gorman's three-pointer is good. First basket of the game for Jessica, and that makes it a 77-52 Dolphin lead.
Gorman came into today's game averaging double digits. Her first basket of the game comes here with less than 3 minutes left in the game.
Plamenko working the ball up over to DeMoncho. DeMoncho driving it inside. She feeds it to Forster. Her first shot's blocked, but she's able to stick with it and lay it up and in. Forster now with 8 for the Dolphins. Howard. Radiscus. Radiscus floater in the lane is good. Lily now with 14 for the Bloodhounds. Dolphins a minute and 53 seconds away from their 5th victory in a row. Moylan out at the three-point line. Bounce pass inside to Forster. She banks it up and in, and now she's in double digits with 10. Howard with the basketball. Howard has it knocked away, and she went to the floor, and she's going to be able to draw the blocking foul on the Dolphins as Arvello's going to pick up her 4th foul, and it's going to be a timeout taken on the floor with a minute and 33 seconds remaining in the game. So why don't we keep it here, Nick? A nice job by the Dolphins here this afternoon as they were able to come out on Alumni Day and really take it to the Bloodhounds right from the opening tip.
McEwen, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. And as far as I'm concerned, the player of the game, Diana Todaro, 12 points all in the second half and a massive 18 rebounds, 3 short of her career high, 21. Absolutely controlling the glass today is the Dolphins overall. 50 rebounds, and John Jelly has 30. So rebounded by 20 rebounds. It's incredible.
Yeah, and, you know, this is a Dolphin team, Nick, that at times has had struggles rebounding the basketball in the past. But, you know, this year they've been able to rebound the basketball pretty effectively, actually out-rebounding their opponents by almost 4 rebounds a game. And
up and down the lineup, everybody really had a really strong game. Robisky, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and overall just a really strong defensive effort. McEwen 2 steals, Todaro 2 steals, Robisky a steal, and Moylan with a steal off the bench as well.
Just a programming reminder, after we bring you the player of the game here this afternoon, we'll go off the air for a couple of minutes and it'll get you ready for the start of the men's basketball game as the men looking to bounce back after a tough loss against Baruch College about 30 minutes or so after the conclusion of this game. But, Nick, for the CSI women's team, they continue their red-hot play. Plamenco with the basketball. Moylan over to Arvello. Her open three-pointer is up no good. The ball tipped away, and another offensive rebound for the Dolphins as they put up a quick three-pointer. That's no good, and we're inside of the final minute here this afternoon. Howard stopping. Her three-pointer is up no good. Forster there for the rebound, and Dolphins continuing their dominance on the glass, especially in this second half.
John Jay just unable to secure many rebounds here today.
DeMoncho inside to Forster. Forster's one-handed shot is up no good. Howard there for the rebound for the Bloodhounds. Shot clock off. 20 seconds remaining in this game, and Dolphins, another strong effort as Healy's jumper is up and in, and she has 19, Nick, but those points never really a threat to the Dolphins here this afternoon.
Right, Mike, with the way the Dolphins shot the ball and played defensively, it didn't really matter what Healy was going to do.
So it'll be Plamenco holding on to the basketball, and that's going to do it. The College of Staten Island continues their red-hot play. They've now won 5 in a row, 8 of their last 9, 10 out of their last 12, as they defeat the John Jay Bloodhounds by a final score of 81-56.
Mike, tall domination from the tip-off. Dolphins controlled the game right away, and Todaro had a tremendous game. We'll see if she joins us here in a few minutes.
Yeah, and, for the CSI Dolphins, they continue their red-hot play. They'll have a couple of days off. They'll travel to CCNY as we get ready for our player of the game is Diana Tadero, nice enough to come over and join us as the Dolphins go on to a big win here this afternoon. Diana, congratulations on another big win for the team here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Diana, you had a strong second half. The team rebounded the basketball so well. You finished with 14 points, all in the second half. Why has the team played so much better over the last month or so?
I think we've just been playing more confident, and in practice, we've just been, taking every day, like one day at a time, just practicing, going hard. So we've just been coming together real strong.
Diana, 18 rebounds today. How are you able to dominate the boards?
I'm a magnet to the ball. I just work my ass off. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
Diana, we mentioned the team now has won 5 games in a row, and you're going to finish off the regular season all against CUNYAC opponents. What is the team looking to do as you finish off this regular season?
We're just looking to keep it up, playing our game, being confident, attacking the rim, all the little things, and we'll do just fine.
Yeah, and, Diana, the team getting ready to move over to Division II. What's it been like playing these CUNYAC opponents here during for the final time here in this 2019-20 season?
It's heartbreaking, honestly, because this is like my last go-around. So I just, I'll give it every day my all. And, yeah.
Congratulations, Diana, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
That's Diana Tadero, of course, for the CSI Dolphins. Nick, as she played another strong all-around game. And, you mentioned it in the pregame show, but no coincidence that the Dolphins started to play much stronger basketball as Diana's game improved throughout the season.
Right, Mike, and the Dolphins are already pretty red hot now. 5 straight wins, 7 of the last 8, and the way they're playing, we'll see if they could, do what they want to do, which is run the table the rest of the way.
So that's going to wrap things up here from game number 1 as the College of Staten Island continues their winning ways as they win their 5th game in a row as they defeat the John Jay Bloodhounds to up their record to 10-8 by a final score of 81-56. So for Nick Durst, this is Mike Babusky saying thanks for joining us. Go over to the men's link and catch us for men's basketball action. We'll be back on the air in about 15 minutes or so as the CSI men get ready to take on the John Jay Bloodhounds. You've been watching women's basketball coverage exclusively on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.